There is no perfect time of year to walk the Camino. Trust us, we've walked 6 Caminos in all sorts of different seasons, but there are really good reasons to choose certain times of year or even avoid other times of year.
So we're going to go through the pros and cons of walking in spring, summer, fall, and even winter so you can choose the right time of year for your Camino. I'm Lainey.
I'm Shawn, and this is Days We Spend.
Walking in spring from mid-March to May.
Spring is a fantastic time to walk the Camino, especially if you're a nature lover or you're really into scenery. Everything's very green, everything's very lush, flowers are blooming, trees are waving at you. It's like walking through a painting. It doesn't matter where you are on the Camino, there's a lot of beautiful things to see in the springtime.
There's also cooler temperatures walking in spring. You're going to have some glorious days. You need to pack some layers because the weather's a bit variable. But in general, you won't be sweating buckets because it's beautiful spring days.
Probably the most important thing to know about walking the Camino in spring is that it's just really, really variable. You can get lots of rain, you can get no rain. You can get really hot days, you can get actual snow. We've seen temperature swings from like blazing hot to literally snowing within a couple of days here in Galicia.
And hail too, up in some of the mountain passes.
Yeah.
So you really need to think about if you're going in spring, you want to have like a packing list that addresses all the different types of weather. And that means a slightly heavier bag. And if you are okay with that, go for it.
Yeah, it's a little more challenging to pack for spring. I don't love packing for a spring Camino because I like to keep it super, super light. But you run into trouble like we did if you don't bring the right amount of layers, like rain pants or a good shell, maybe even a puffy jacket.
Gloves. The pilgrim season kind of officially kicks off around Semana Santa, which is the Holy Week around Easter. And that's when a lot of the albergues start to open for the whole season. And that's when a lot more people are also on the trail. It can also be really exciting. There's people who want to get to Santiago to experience Easter there. There's just so much energy in the towns that you're in as everyone's kind of emerging for spring. And also the Catholic holidays, if you're a practicing Catholic, that can be a very exciting thing to be on the Camino during that time. But it also means there's a lot more people on trail all of a sudden. You think like May, most people aren't taking time off work to walk in May, but that's not true because of the holidays in Spain.
So if you look at the statistics on the official, like how many pilgrims arrive in each month, it can be a little deceiving because it looks like August is the most crowded month. And technically by the numbers it is, but that's almost all of that number is people starting from Sarria, the last 100K. The number of people on the Camino Frances, for example, or the Norte or any of these other routes, if you're doing the whole thing, May is actually more crowded, which is surprising.
Yeah, especially on the Primitivo or if you're walking the Portuguese route. It's super popular, especially for people who only have like 2 weeks of spring break vacation from the US.
And fewer people doesn't mean what it used to mean. Last year, there were almost 500,000 pilgrims that made it to Santiago, which means there were more than 500,000 that walked some section of it.
So you can walk in spring. It's an amazing time of year to do it. Just be aware that you're going to have to deal with some weather variability and more crowds than you were probably expecting.
Yeah. You're not gonna avoid the crowds by going in April or May. They're still there. Walking the Camino in summer, June, July, and August. Walking the Camino in summer.
Oh, it's summer. The days are long. You just want to be outside all day. School's out. Responsibilities go away. What better to do than just spend all day outside on trail?
No, so summer, obviously, if you can't tell, it's one of our favorite times to walk. And it's largely for the reasons you just said. Really long days, which gives you just so much flexibility in how you like to walk. And the weather can be really amazing.
Yeah, it also means like you don't need a headlamp to walk early mornings because the sun comes up fairly early versus in fall or spring when it doesn't get light until about 7:30 a.m.
The sun stays up obscenely late in summer after 10 p.m. And that's because Spain is kind of on a weird time zone relative to the rest of Europe. And as you move west through Spain, through Galicia and all that, it gets even more exaggerated.
So if you want to walk long days or just take your time all day long, summer is an amazing time to go because you're not worried about twilight shutting everything down.
A lot of people can be afraid of the Spanish heat, which can absolutely be a problem,
Oh,
especially in certain sections like the Meseta.
yeah.
But early June is actually a really beautiful time to walk in Spain. It's almost spring-like. It depends on the year, but you can get some really lovely weather, and it cools down dramatically in the evening. And the mornings are really lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it is the beginning of June right now in Galicia when we're filming this, and it's been really hot the
Mhm.
last few days. So if even if you walk in June, you should still expect some very high heat days.
We're mostly going to be talking about the Frances, the Camino Frances in this video, but another idea is to do a different route in the summertime. We walked the Norte in the summer, which is a little bit cooler, a little bit more prone to get rain, which
Mm.
does happen in
Oh
the
yeah.
summer even. But it's important to know that if you're not on the Camino Frances and you walk any of these routes in the summer, like the Portuguese or the Norte, you're going to be competing with other regular tourists, regular vacationers, especially on the Norte. All of those towns you walk through, those are beach destinations for people who live in Spain.
Same thing, Portuguese coastal route.
Yeah, so the prices, if you're someone who likes to book hotels, the price of a hotel is going to be double what it is in March or, October.
Or not even available. Some of these
Mm.
smaller towns don't even have albergues, or the albergues are also open for people who are like surfers or surf camps or just people who are staying in those towns that are regular tourists. And so sometimes it's a little harder to find a bed
Yeah,
in the high season, especially August. In June, a little less so the problem.
right.
Beginning of July, maybe, but mid July through August, much more difficult to get that bed
Yeah.
on the Norte, but the weather's amazing and you could just swim in the ocean.
And you just said it. Yeah, you're like, because there's surfers, go surfing. Maybe a way to deal with that is to make some reservations ahead of time if there's certain places you want to be on certain days,
Hmm.
or just go slower and be more flexible, knowing that you will have, you might have to change your plans based on budget or availability. So, like we mentioned with spring crowds, August is technically the most pilgrims on the Camino of any time of year. And again, largely that's because most people who walk the Camino who live in Spain start in Sarria and then they walk that last 100 kilometers.
Especially in August, because that's when tour groups are going. That's when people go with their families.
If you're not familiar with European vacations, Italy, Spain, even France,
France.
August, everyone just gets like 3 weeks off. Not everyone, but a lot of people have vacation. So they're like, oh, I'll walk the Camino finally, or I'll walk it again. So you're going to get a lot of people who live here walking that last 100, but don't let it warp your perception of the rest of the Camino. The other 30 days are not as crowded as that last 5. So if you want my 2 cents, summer is my favorite time to walk the Camino. I don't mind the heat, but even if it's something that you're worried about, early summer is a fantastic time to be there because the days are long. Like you can sit outside and have a drink. You can sit in a hammock. You can like be on the grass. Like when you get to the hostel, like it opens up Spain a lot and everything is open and fun. Like all the bars you walk by during the day are fantastic.
Yeah, all the places have extra seating because all the outdoor seats are open and available. And like Shawn said, you can really spend all day outside. You have breakfast outside, and then you have lunch outside, and you have
Yeah.
dinner outside.
Because nothing's worse than if you're walking in the rain all day and then you get to the albergue and then there's all this outdoor seating or it's just cold and everyone's kind of stuck on their beds, which is like not a fun thing to do.
Yeah, because maybe the only common space is outside.
So I'm a big summer fan. I hope that you are too, because it's a great time to walk the Camino.
And a lot of albergues are starting to have swimming pools on the
Ooh.
Frances. So if you walk in summer, bring a swimsuit.
Great advice. That's just good advice.
Walking in fall, September, October, and November. So on the Camino Frances, starting from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France, fall, specifically September, is by far the most popular time to start walking. We've done it twice in September
Hmm.
from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, and we can confirm it's very crowded.
It's a lot.
For a reason, though, it's a really nice time of year to walk.
If you're someone that just absolutely can't hike in the heat, a lot of people default to starting in September and they plan to finish the Camino in October, which is a really popular time to be there. So the weather can be really mild in Spain during that time of year. It's still pretty dry.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends
Yeah.
too, though. We had a huge rainstorm on the Meseta in September and then really dry days in
Yeah.
Galicia. So it was kind of the opposite. But again, over 30 days, we only had 3 or 4 days of rain
Mhm.
versus half of them of rain. So September is definitely a little more dry.
And so the number of pilgrims starts to drop. The number of Spanish pilgrims starts to drop after August. So if you walk in September and October, you're much more likely to interact with people from other countries, Americans, French,
Can-
German, Canadian,
Canadians.
Korea. A lot of people walk from Korea. So if that's something you're interested in, making new friends and socializing, and your Spanish isn't very strong, that would be a really good thing to know because it's a more social time of year for foreigners who walk the Camino.
Yeah, it's also a little, I think the population of people walking in fall is a little older. So people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s tend to walk in fall versus in summer, it's a lot more students and younger
Yeah.
people. So it's just really depends what type of socializing you want to do. There's a lot of people who take their first Camino in September. And so if you want to meet other like-minded pilgrims, that's a good time to go.
If you want to dance with a bunch of Italians by the river to a boombox, walk it in July, August. If you want to have a conversation with someone about a book that they've been reading, walk it in September, October.
That said, because it's so popular in September starting date, if you are going in the beginning of September, or even through mid-September
Mhm.
from Saint Jean Pied de Port or Porto, which is also very
It's
popular,
gotten really popular in the last couple of years.
definitely make reservations for that first few days way ahead of time, or up the first 5 days, 6 days, whatever you feel comfortable until you get your footing, because we've seen stories and heard of people saying that there's just no beds in Roncesvalles and
Yeah.
different scenarios like that.
Everyone's Camino is different. Do whatever you want, but you might be making it a lot harder for yourself. Try to get that first 2 nights locked in just so you can price it out and see what's still available, either on booking.com or directly through an albergue or,
Mm.
a website.
Especially if you are going on the Camino Frances and you're starting in Saint Jean and you don't want to walk all the way to Roncesvalles on that first day. You want to stay in one of the places in between, like Orison or Borda. They book months in advance. We, in fall, to deal with some of the crowds, we ended up staying off stage at some of the less popular endpoints, which means you meet less people. It's not as much to do in the smaller villages, but you weren't fighting for a bed.
Fall's an excellent time of year to walk the Camino. It's just a little bit of congestion on the Frances as a whole, but another route might be a great way to stay away from the crowds. If you wanted to walk something that's not as popular, it's a great time of year.
Yeah. Just know that as you get further into October, November, and especially in Galicia, you're going to get a lot more rain, maybe chillier temperatures, but it's going to be beautiful. There's leaves changing, the chestnut trees. It's just a
Oh.
very, very nice time to be in Galicia, especially as in the late fall.
And if you finish the Camino in like the end of October, stick around for Magosto in early November, the Chestnut Festival, where everyone just drinks coffee liqueur and hangs out in the woods. It's the best. We're getting off topic. One final thing to remember is that the days are going to start to get noticeably shorter and the later you get into fall, which might compress your days. If you have longer days or you're trying to do like 30-kilometer days, it's worth remembering that you'll need a headlamp and you'll need to keep moving because the sun starts to go down pretty early.
And just rises much later, too.
Walking the Camino in winter. December, January, February.
And the beginning of March.
The winter Camino, we have to talk about it. Very few people walk the Camino in winter. It's only a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 or two. And that's because it's a lot harder to walk the Camino in winter. The weather is not variable. It's just bad.
Oh, no, it's cold. But yeah, you might get 2 weeks of nonstop rain, or you might get 2 weeks of just sunshine, but it's cold.
Of course. No, I'm saying more in like Osebredo or the Pyrenees. You can get dangerous storms. Like people have died hiking in the winter. We got snow at the end of April and we weren't at a very high elevation. So if you're hiking in January, you need to be prepared for that with the right gear, with the right safety equipment. Make sure that you are capable of walking a winter Camino because it will be much more difficult.
We also recommend that you have a lot better grasp of Spanish if you are walking in winter, because most albergues are closed for the season. And when we say the season, they may be closed on November 1st and they reopen at Semana Santa. And so you really need to be able to make phone calls and call places and say, hey, like, are you open? Can I stay there? You have to have a little bit more planning. so that you make sure you have a bed. And sometimes your stages are a little more set based on what is open
Yeah.
rather than where you want to go. That though means you are sometimes alone in the albergues, like a municipal albergue, and it's just the two of us.
We actually walked the Camino Invierno, which is the winter route here in Galicia. We started at the tail end of February and we ended in early March. It's a shorter Camino. Absolutely gorgeous. But like we just said, it was really desolate. Like, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to be by ourselves. We wanted to just be out in the woods. But there was snow on the ground. There was frost in the morning.
Ice. Oh, it was so cold in the mornings. It was really hard to get up and get out of bed.
Yeah.
You always had to make sure the place you're staying at had heating.
Mhm.
And we ended up, though, staying at more guest house accommodations and pensions. The price of a private room in winter is very affordable versus the price in a private room in summer, which increases.
But we did stay in a few albergues where they like literally just like left a key under the rock or like gave us the code to let ourselves in. One of them could easily fit like 80 people and it was just us. It was like The Shining.
We walked in and the pellet stove was on,
Yeah.
and it was just the pellet stove. And then it eventually ran out of pellets. We were like, please help us. It's really cold. Bring us more pellets.
No, it was fine. But that's another thing to know too. Our first night, we thought, you're a pilgrim, you get to town and you can go get dinner somewhere or buy some groceries. Nothing was open. And nothing was open the next day. So we were eating like leftovers that we happened to be lucky enough to bring. So resupplying services, albergues. Winter is just, there's very little open, especially as you get into these regional rural trails. And that's very important to know.
Yeah, I love hiking in winter, though. I love being outside in the cold, like my body. I sweat a lot. So I enjoy having layers that I can strip off of as I get warm throughout the day. And so, as long as you're prepared and you want a little solitude, winter can just be a really magical time. Oh, my biggest issue with winter, though, is doing laundry. Nothing dried. I had like wet socks. I felt like the whole time. There's no heat in places. And if there was heat, it was like, okay, yay, my socks finally dried. But then the next day, there is no like laundromat or anything. Anyways, I felt like I was always damp.
The winter Camino can be amazing if you're looking for solitude and a bit of a challenge. But if that doesn't sound like fun, probably wait until spring and you'll still get beautiful weather and a nice chill in the air.
There's no wrong time of year to walk the Camino. The only thing that is wrong is if you don't go at all.
There it is.
As long as you're prepared for the different pros and cons of each season, go forth and walk. You're going to enjoy it no matter what.
And remember, every year is different. You could walk next summer and it could be an ice storm. You could walk in spring and there could be lava coming out of the trees. No one knows. You do your best. You plan for as much as you reasonably can. And then you deal with what the Camino gives you. It's going to be a memorable experience. So if you can find the time, wherever that is in your year, go in with eyes wide open, knowing what to expect, and have a great Camino.
Thank you so much for spending your day with us, and we hope you enjoy your days on trail on the Camino in the future.
Buen Camino. Make sure to subscribe for more of these informative and entertaining, excellent videos. Have a buen Camino.
You got the end already.
Nobody else here.